My best friend of 7 years went completely silent after I spent 4 months being her emergency contact and reappeared the week her new job started. Her name is Naomi. 7 years is long enough to have a language with someone. The shorthand, the references, the specific understanding of how each other receives news and what kind of support actually helps versus what sounds supportive but does not land. For 7 years, Naomi and I had been that for each other. The score of who had needed what was not something either of us kept because it had always felt unnecessary. The 4 months that preceded her silence were the hardest of my adult life. My mother had a health event in October that required hospitalization and then a long recovery period, and I was the family member who lived closest and became, by default and by choice, the person managing everything. Appointments, logistics, the specific emotional labor of being calm for your parent when you are not calm, the work of continuing to function professionally while operating on less sleep and more fear than I had ever carried at once. Naomi was present for about 2 weeks. Then the responses slowed. Then the responses became shorter. Then there were days of silence answered only with a brief message when I reached out first. I told myself she was busy. People get busy. The silence had a texture that felt different from ordinary busyness, but I was managing too much to examine it closely and I needed her to be okay. By February, she had stopped responding to anything but the most surface-level messages. I stopped sending the other kind because continuing to reach out into silence is its own form of grief, and I did not have room for additional grief. My mother recovered. Slowly and with work, but she recovered. By March, the worst of it had passed, and life had restructured into something that no longer required emergency-level management.